Yeah, my name is Anna Hartkopf. I work at Freie Universität Berlin, and right next to me, with a safe distance of 1.5 meters.
Yes, I'm René. I'm from Holland, from Rotterdam, but living partly in Berlin, and we do together the project. We can.
Yeah, kind of.
So let's talk a little bit about the project, what it is. So it's a project in Berlin, but we have people from Rotterdam there, so we try to make it international. From Berlin, we have young people from schools. A lot of time it's difficult schools with difficult people, so we want them in our project. So about 100 to 220 young people from Berlin, and from Holland are so about 40 people coming to Berlin. And the people from Holland are in a school for dance and music. It's the preparation for the conservatory and the dance academy. The people in Berlin haven't experience with science or with dance or with music at all, and we connect them. And typical for the BeVoice project is to connect different people with each other and to connect theater and science. That's the most important thing from the project. And Anna, maybe you can tell something about the science.
Okay.
That's most interesting for you.
And yes, each year BeVoice has different topics, different scientific topics. So there are, the last years it was a bit mathematically based, but before that there was also other projects like bees and what else did you have? Chaos theory.
Oxidation.
Oh, oxidation. Yeah. The binaries. So there were different topics, and so this project we want to talk to you about this time is about dimensions, which is yes, the mathematics topics as well.
Yeah, that was a topic from last year. In the beginning we had other science, but since I met Anna, we just do mathematics last years. So there are a lot of ideas for the next 10 years, maybe. The people are between 14 and 18 years old. And last year we had some small ones as well, 8, 9 years. The first time we had very young people involved. But that's the average age. And we start so about half a year before with some brainstorming. Later, Anna tells a little bit about how we do that at schools, but at the brainstorming sessions, we try to find some ideas for the project, everything inspired on the science theme. And some young people are writing a poem, and that's a song. This is directly a song. We just have to compose some music and we have a song. But sometimes they have such just one sentence, and that's an idea for a song or for a choreography or for the stage or everything like that. So we do that half a year before. And then we prepare everything. We write in the music. I do that with young people. We have 2 guys. They do this for 6 years now. They are 22 or 23. They started very young and they're amazing composers. And they arrange it. And last time we had an orchestra from 32 people. So it's a big orchestra with strings and everything on it. So we prepare everything. And then the important part of the project is the project week. We work 1 week from Monday till Friday. Long days, rehearsing, singing, dancing, the orchestra, etc. And on the end of the week, we have several performances with a lot of audience, so 300 people, 200 till 300 people. We do 3 performances on the end. And in the project week, it's important, all the young people are artists for us. So we have good food, we have drinks, we have a lot of nice things to eat or to sit, and we make that, we arrange that, that is very nice. They are the artists, they have to work hard, but we take care of them. So that's the whole idea from the projects, to do something else, not school. Okay.
Yeah, and now is the time to show you a little bit of the project, so you get an impression of the musical. Here's a video.
Meine Tante fand das sehr schön, sie war auf mich stolz und sagte, ich bin ein Star.
It's always great to be here at BeVoice here in Berlin, and let's say the starting point is always a challenge. René comes to Holland, tells us about what the subject is going to be, this time dimensions, and it starts a bit scientifically. We divide different subjects with the teachers, and then let's say magic will happen. So that means every group works here for a week, and for us it's like we've got the music, we've got an idea about dimensions, but there's not a real choreography yet. That's something we're really making together with the students, and that's really, you know, the magical thing that's happening. So music, dance, everything comes together, and also starting from Monday with students who don't know anything about theater. And then if you look at them on a Friday, it's really wow.
Okay, that was the first impression. And yeah, I want to tell you a little bit about how we introduced the science into the whole project. And so there's the musical does not really have a storyline. There's no story that's told, but it's more like giving impressions of different aspects of the leading topic. And this year's topic was dimensions. And of course, for a mathematician, this is the points and the lines and the faces, and so all this progressions through the dimensions. And then there's always like the interesting point where the third dimensions, left and higher dimensions, come into being, or just imagination maybe. And so this is what we did when we went to the school to introduce the kids to the project, and then René just told them, like, this is what we're going to do, this be project week, and then I come in and tell them a bit about the mathematics behind it. And this is, for once, I try to tell them, to really just tell them about mathematics, not teach them, and then see how this could relate to what they are actually doing. So the idea of dimensions is, of course, mathematical, but also like with the everyday life. So it would be, what could be a new dimension for you? Like, what's the world you are in? And then if you get like a new perspective and a new point of view. And some ideas came up, for example, like if I would be invisible, what would the world be like? And then there were things I could do. Or another dimension, I think, I know René, he read the novel Flatland to prepare for the musical that I guess most of you know. And of course in Flatland, it's a bit, the power dynamics between the men and the women and how they are described, that's a bit tricky. And so another idea that came up was if like the women had all the power and the men, like if we would inverse the existing power dynamics. And there was another song that came out of it that was called Macht, which is the power in English. That was about that. I think in the following we want to show you 3 more examples that depict how the dimensions and the mathematical aspects are incorporated in the musical. The first one is this progression through the dimensions that starts with the vertices, and then we have like move in one direction, we get the edges, we add another direction, we get faces, and then you get the room, and then you get the hypercube. And this was in a dance that we will show you now.
Wir hatten uns so einen wunderschönen Tanz ausgedacht, um die Dimensionen zu gestalten. Und ich dachte, das geht doch, wenn man einen riesen schwarzen Lappen hat. Und da kommen dann die Köpfe von den Schülern raus. Und erst mal ein Kopf und dann 2 und 3 und so. Da hatte ich so eine Idee. Und dann dachte ich, ja, dann brauchen wir ein riesen Tuch. Da müssten dann Löcher rein. Aber wie machen wir das? Na?
Ich bin in der Gruppe von Johanna und unser übergreifendes Thema ist Dimension, und wir stellen verschiedene Dimensionen dar. Und dementsprechend habe ich mit verschiedenen Dimensionen gearbeitet. Ich habe mit der nullten Dimension angefangen. Das ist quasi nur ein Punkt. Das heißt, ich habe mit verschiedenen Bildern gearbeitet. Ich fange mit einem Punkt an, der wird zu einer Reihe und dann habe ich horizontale und vertikale Ebenen, die sich bewegen. Deswegen habe ich mit vielen Bildern gearbeitet. Erst ein Punkt, Reihe, dreidimensional. Zum Beispiel eine Dimension ohne Hände oder eine Dimension nur mit Frauen. Und dann haben die Schüler eine Phrase gelernt mit nur ihren Füßen und ihren Köpfen, denn wir haben ein bisschen erschwert gearbeitet, denn wir haben ein Tuch auf unseren Schultern liegen. Damit mussten wir viel arbeiten, viel ausprobieren.
Gibt es abends wieder Leute vom Team, die an der Nähmaschine gehen und das dann weiter gestalten. Und ich dachte, es wäre auch toll, wenn man diesen Tuch plötzlich in 4 teilen kann und dass die Gruppe dann aufteilt. Naja, dann gucken die mich so an, aber dann machen die das mit Klettverschluss und plötzlich kann man das in 4 Stücke machen. Ist viel Arbeit, war ein paar Abende an der Nähmaschine, fühle ich mich auch ein bisschen schuldig, aber dann machen die das.
Es war harte Arbeit, aber ich glaube, es wird funktionieren. Und anfangs hatte ich etwas Zweifel, wie das Projekt sein soll, aber es macht sehr, sehr viel Spaß und man wird schnell zu einer gemeinsamen Gruppe und es ist eine schöne Erfahrung und ich empfehle jedem, dort mitzumachen.
Okay, ja, dann über Flatland ein bisschen, ne? Also ich war immer sehr begeistert über die Idee von Flatland. In meiner Schule hat den Chemielehrer immer über Flatland erzählt, weil wir gut vorangekommen sind, hat er als Belohnung immer
René,
über
sorry. Could you go back to English, please?
Oh, sorry. I tell it again. Sorry. It was automatic. I can talk Dutch as well. That's better for me. At school, there was a teacher, a chemistry teacher, and he always told about flatland. If we worked hard, he said, I tell something on the end about flatland. And it inspired me, and I read the book again. And we thought we make out of it a song out of it. And Anna already told there was this discussion about the power of women. On the end, everybody knows the women have the power in the world. So all the students said, okay. And in this song, there are a lot of small things in Germany about this book. For example, the point and that's very sharp, etc. And we have made some translation about it. It's a little bit difficult out of the German, but you can read something like you are making a point sharp and acute, and sharp is of course how the person is, and the form in the flatland theory. The women are very small and thin. So there in every sentence there are 2 things about flatland and about love, and it's a love song. It was a guy and a girl, and they were singing and falling in love with each other on stage. Yeah? So we worked with Flatland, and it was very nice. The very young kids from 8 years old, I told them about Flatland, and I could tell them better about Flatland as the older students, because the young guys were on the ground and looking at the coin. I tell that's the coin, and you just see 1 line, and that's 2 dimensions, etc. And they are so creative, they can understand it. I was really surprised that so young people can understand it better as the elder one.
So and now that was a dance on the hypercube. So at the point where we're leaving the 3rd dimension, and we're gonna show you a movie on this.
Was mich interessiert hat, das zu sehen, also einfach zu denken, wenn man jetzt, wie ich das halt bei dem Unendlichkeitsstück schon gesehen hatte, da waren ja viele Elemente, die aufgegriffen wurden, und dachte ich so, oh, ich möchte das gerne zu dem Thema mal sehen, was sie daraus machen. Und so ganz konkret hatte ich halt die Idee, dass man diesen Hyperwürfel tanzt, also den 4-dimensionalen Würfel tanzt. Ja, in sich rotierbar ist. Und diese Rotation, wenn man sich die anschaut, dann sieht man die ja eigentlich auch immer nur auf dem Bildschirm, weil die Visualisierung davon, also Computervisualisierung, funktioniert eben nur in 2D. Und dann habe ich gedacht, wenn man aber wirklich jetzt Tänzer hat, die diesen Würfel in der richtigen 3-dimensionalen Welt tanzen, das möchte ich selber gerne sehen, wie das aussieht. Und das war für mich eine ganz, ganz tolle Erfahrung, mit diesen Kindern, mit den Jugendlichen das zu machen. War für mich auch spannend zu sehen. Ich hätte mir vorgestellt, dass der Choreograf schon die Choreografie fertig hat und sie dann den Jugendlichen beibringt. Aber sie haben das eigentlich miteinander so erarbeitet. Und dann kam irgendwann der Punkt, wo dann dieser 4-dimensionale Würfel eingebaut wird. Und dann haben wir halt auch die Dimensionen quasi aufgebaut. Von der 0. Dimension ist einfach der Punkt, der sich nicht bewegt, und dann wird die 1. Dimension dran gemacht und dann einfach mit so Gummibändern dann gemacht, und dann wurde dieser Würfel nach und nach aufgebaut.
Yeah, this was the 4-dimensional dancing. Yeah, and so what we did as a little side project to the project was to we tried to measure the effect of the project. And on the right hand side, you can see the questionnaire. I think it's a little too small to actually read it. We did ask the students, so we thought we'd do we asked them before the musical and after the musical the same questions about their relationship towards mathematics. And because it was in school and just 2 classes participated, we could ask the other classes who did not participate in the musical, like what happened with their effective relationship with mathematics. And so there were questions like, what was it, for example, yeah, math is just for boring people, or mathematics is much more than you learn in school. And then we asked them like how much did they agree or disagree. And also we asked them with their relationship to the math as a subject in school. Like, I'm happy if the math class is not happening today, but I mean, it's maybe not just about mathematics, but also like we asked if mathematics is their favorite subject. And what we did then was we put all this together. Mathart, my student assistant, I need to tell her now that she did all of this work, and it was amazing. She was in charge of doing the statistics here. And then we did a factor analysis, and it turned out that basically we just asked for 1 factor. So there was no, there was just everything you can see was just 1 factor. And on the next slide here, we can see this factor. It was just the one component. On the left-hand side, you see it before the musical. On the right-hand side, you see it after the musical. And unfortunately, the further right we are, the not so good is the relationship to mathematics. So we did not find any like significance in all of this. Like it was too, it was not really a move, but also we did see, if you see anything, then that there is a slight shift to the right, which means that the relationship to mathematics had not been definitively been better. And I mean, there are many reasons for this. I mean, probably a week of dancing and singing is not improving the students' attitude towards sitting in a classroom and learning mathematics. And what I found, I think, what we should have designed differently in the questionnaire, and I think this is, I would be curious if the result would be the same. If one, I mean, if we do it again, I guess it would be more asking about, has your horizon towards mathematics broadened? Like this more in a mathematical worldview kind of thing, and not so much the subject as well. Yeah, but this was just, I mean, there's not really a framework on learning. Okay, there's not really a framework for measuring science communication projects, and that was just the first step. And yeah, now we know how to do it next time.
Yeah, and what is happening is that a lot of students don't know they have science in the performance. You know, we work on it, we explain it. Anna is telling about it, and afterwards they say, oh, there was no mathematics in the performance, because for them it isn't mathematics at all. So that's a different thing. And another effect is important for me. Years after each project, every time there is something in the news about our subject. Once we had supernova, the stars, and if there's some message about it, I always get emails or WhatsApp from people who did the project and say, hey, did you read it? So they are more interested in these subjects. They are always making some jokes about dimensions and about chaos, and so it is in the head, I'm sure, but they don't know that it is mathematics or science. But it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. No. I think just because you can measure it does not mean it's not there. Okay, so I think that was our talk. That was just a very brief introduction to this project, and we're happy to answer your questions.